Sometimes it's 3 days, like complete 72 hours of training where you can't go back home, you can't sleep, you're sleeping in the forest and you're only getting like 3 hours of sleep at night. Sometimes it's 4 days, sometimes it's 5 days of non-stop training, but sometimes it is 2 days and your work hours are like from 5:30 in the morning to like 7 o'clock at night. You get to go home and sleep and then you repeat that the second day. So that one weekend is a very vague term. And then if you like add that to a part-time job, add that to a full-time student schedule, it's tough. Like when you only have 4 weekends a month to like study or do extracurricular activities like volunteer or whatever to beef up your college resume, taking one entire weekend out, it can fuck you up, especially if you're taking hard classes. And then I was pre-med at the time, so I was taking a bunch of science classes and I needed every single weekend I can, because since I was fucked up so much in high school, my science foundation was pretty low. Like I had a lot of friends that came into community college with me and then they had a clear understanding of photosynthesis, cellular respiration. They knew anatomy of like the human brain and all that, and I had to relearn everything from the ground up. So that taught me that, you know, like all that stuff that they teach you in school is pretty important because it builds your foundation for later on in college. Yes, from 1st grade to 12th grade, you don't learn that much, but it sets the foundation and it kind of introduces you to all this information and knowledge, so that when you do go to college and they intensely educate you, it's like, that rings a bell. Okay, I know what the fuck is going on. So I was in the Marine Corps Reserves for 6 years. I went in 2003 and then I got out in 2009. So this guy that's running around right now, he makes it look easy, but when you have full-on gear like this, when you have, like, he has a camelback on which holds water, he has a flak jacket on which is his pretty much bulletproof vest, he has a Kevlar on, he has all these electronics equipment, all of that easily without a pack, and he has comm gear, which is like his radio, so that he can communicate with the rest of his fire team. All that can easily add up to about like 30 pounds. And your boots, your combat boots, they're made so that like if a rock rolls over your foot or like you have to kick a door down, that it protects your foot. So even your clothing, it's like everything is like as thick as like denim material. So it's really, really strong because you got to be able to like roll around in rocks and run through thorns and stuff and not get hurt. And then a M16 or a M4, which is a shortened M16, is 8 pounds. And then you got to carry ammo, and ammo weighs a shit ton. So like you can easily have like 40 pounds on you without even a pack. And then like these guys are like special forces, right? So most likely in the real life, they're not gonna be spending a week here. So they're just gonna be pretty much dropped off in the LZ, which is landing zone, with minimal stuff. They're gonna tread lightly, so they probably got like 30 or 40 pounds of gear on them, including the water that they need to drink, because you gotta hydrate in the desert, or else you're gonna pass out. But when you have like all your gear on you, like let's say you're gonna be doing a training evolution, and then you're gonna be spending like an entire week in the field. And you have like 3 extra sets of camis, you have your ISO mat on you, you have your MREs, which is those field rations, meals ready to eat. When you have all that stuff on you, you can easily be carrying like 60, 70 pounds on you. And it gets heavy, and you're like marching 10 miles, 15 miles. But they train you in boot camp. The first month of boot camp is running everywhere. As soon as you wake up at pretty much 5 o'clock, you're running to the bathroom. You brush your teeth for 30 seconds, you run out the bathroom, and then you run to go eat breakfast. And then you eat for 5 minutes, then you run to your first class. You're just running everywhere. And then finally you have your first hump, which is what they call a hike. And that's like a 3-miler with all your gear on and your rifle on. And then later on it progresses to, I believe, a 5-miler and then an 8-miler. And then the last ending one required for graduation is called the Crucible. And the Crucible is like this long, entire 3-day journey where you literally sleep, I think, an hour or 2 every day, and you're so delirious because you only have 1 meal every day, and you have to complete all these missions. And then at the end of it, you have like this 10-mile hike back home, and it's a super huge test of your mental capacity and like how far you can push yourself. And then on the West Coast Marines, we go through this thing called the Reaper, because on the West Coast, we train at Camp Pendleton, so they have tons of hills. And then so for our crucible on the Reaper, when we're done with the Reaper, which is this huge steep hill hike that, oh shit, I'm playing right now, that goes, it goes up, plateaus, goes up, plateaus, go, and then like inclines like 3 or 4 times, and at the top, grown ass badass motherfuckers are crying because of how hard they push themselves and how rewarding it is to finish, and fools are just crying like, oh, we did it, Quan, we did it, oh my damn Rodriguez, we did. And then it's just like this huge feeling of accomplishment, and that's some tough ass training. But I took a lot away from boot camp, because that ability to push yourself to the limits, you can apply that to any day in your life. Like when I was studying for finals and I had to pull dual all-nighters in a row, I did it easily because I fucking done that shit in boot camp, way tougher, with sand in my fucking asshole and freaking bullets in my mouth. Like I can easily do that while still going to the gym, you know. And then what I really liked about boot camp is that it mans you the fuck up, so you know you can survive on the bare necessities, like just water, some fucking Skittles, and you know you can get some shit done. You don't need, I mean, it's comfortable to have a bed, but you don't need all the luxuries you have in life, like your iPhone and all the other bullshit. And I'm a personal believer that I feel like all men in every single country should go through a boot camp. Not necessarily become active duty military personnel and serve the country, because that's not what is everyone's goal, but I think it creates an entire different male population if every male in the population kind of gets woken up and gets manned the fuck up for a short period of time, so everyone's on the same page, you know. Because when I talk to other military personnel, there's this kind of like, you know, that Dave Chappelle stand-up that he did where he was on the plane, and then it was him on the plane, and then there was another black guy on the plane, and even though that black dude was from Africa, they kind of just had like this look, and they're like, yes, we have this mutual understanding, we are the only black guys on this plane. Well, Marines have the same thing, and I'm sure all other military personnel do too. When I see another guy like on the airplane or somewhere else, and we're the only Marines or only military personnel, we have this look in each other's eyes like, yup, if shit hits the fan right here, we're going to be the ones saving this entire motherfucker, and we're going to be the ones that's not going to be freaking out. And imagine how much more powerful a country would be, or how much more confident and capable an entire country would be if the whole population was like that. Was like, yo, if shit hits the fan, and we got to take shits behind trees, and we don't have the luxury of having a fucking jacket and warm soup every night, we got this. That'd be tight. So these guys right here, when they're crouching and they're doing like this duck walk with all that gear, it's actually really tiring. Your legs will immediately get sore. So all you motherfuckers that want to join the military and you start lifting weights, stop immediately. That's the biggest mistake I made. The summer right before I went out to boot camp, I was like, you know, I'm gonna get fucking buff, and boot camp's gonna be an ease. Headshot. Well, I did get buff, and boot camp was that much harder because now I'm carrying around all this extra weight that I didn't need to. What you really want to do is just run like crazy and do a lot of leg exercises, because your legs are gonna be your best friend in boot camp.
Okay, do you guys know where the hell I go? I am in the Asia night market. Do you guys ever go to the Asia night market before? We have one called the 626 night market. Okay, we could buy the chicken. What the hell? That guy look like the alien.
I got a message.
It's the Asian alien, man. What the fuck? Bit the fuck? I bit his ass, man. Come on, run. You try to throw the orange. You're not a Mexican. You're the Asian. And that guy look like the E.T. Asian. Come on, mother.
Happy foot massage, but I is ticklish. Oh well, Here goes nothing. Ah, this is heaven. Bring out the beautiful ladies. That's strange. I didn't know guys did massages. Wait just a minute. Where the ladies at? Oh, hell no. I ain't getting massaged by no man.
What's wrong?